is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Secretary Wormuth. Your May 3rd directive removes the commander of Army Futures Command as the head of the Army Modernization Enterprise. And I'm wondering who's in charge of Army modernization now, and what was the rationale? Why'd you decide to make that change?
Sure, Congressman. I appreciate you bringing that up, actually. The directive did not remove or downgrade Army Futures Command's role in our acquisition effort. You know, at the end of the day, General McConville and I are ultimately responsible for the Army's modernization progress, and we have a team approach to modernizing in the Army. Army Futures Command plays an important role. The PEOs and ASALT play an important role. So the directive I signed was just clarifying those roles and responsibilities. It was not downgrading the importance of Futures Command at all. I am very much pleased with the progress and the contributions that Futures Command is making.
So is that AFC commander still in charge of approving material requirements for the Army?
Futures Command is, one of their major responsibilities is helping us develop requirements for future capabilities, and they retain that responsibility.
And will they still influence milestone A, B, and C decisions? Does he get a vote on that?
There's a very active dialogue between all of the folks at Army Futures Command and ASALT. Ultimately, it is the Assistant Secretary for Acquisition and Logistics that has the authorities for milestones A through C.
So given the change, the question is, I guess, and I'm not the only one asking, but does the breadth of responsibilities that Futures Command retains, does that still necessitate a 4-star command, or does your directive make them duplicative in some way?
We fully intend to see a 4-star general leading Army Futures Command. Our acting commanding general, Lieutenant General Jim Richardson, is doing a great job. We are working on getting our nominee for a 4-star commander over to the Senate.
Great. Let me switch topics to the COVID vaccine. Madam Secretary, have any soldiers been granted a religious exemption from the COVID vaccine requirement who are not in the process of leaving the service? And if so, how many?
Congressman, I believe that we've granted 8 religious exemptions at this time, and I know some of them were on the way out from the Army already, but some of them may well have been, granted religious exemptions. I don't think all 8 of them were already intending to leave the Army, but I can check that and get back to you for the record.
So according to the Army data from March 31, at least 8,000 soldiers have requested exemptions or refused the vaccine. So, the ratio of 8 out of 8,000 is pretty bleak. If the Army discharges all 8,000, here's the question, and the taxpayers pay at least $50,000 to train each soldier, aren't we just throwing away over $400 million of investment? If over 97% of the force is vaccinated already, is that worth it?
Congressman, we're in the process of working our way through adjudication of those religious exemptions and medical exemptions. So at this point, I can't tell you, ultimately how many people will be separated. And I think our view is while, yes, we have certainly spent money on our soldiers and those that are separating, we spent money training them. But at the end of the day, we have to make sure that we have a ready, deployable force and that we have soldiers on our teams who are following lawful orders. So we're trying to be very deliberate. We don't want to separate one more Army soldier than we absolutely have to.
Why won't the Army accept natural immunity as a substitute for the COVID vaccine like the Army does for other illnesses?
Congressman, in conversations I've had with Army doctors, they have explained to me that while if you've had COVID, you do have some natural immunity, but you only have natural immunity for the strain of COVID that you got sick with the first time. And as we know, there have been a variety of additional variants of COVID coming forward.
Well, and the news we're getting this morning is that they're anticipating 100 million Americans will get infected in the coming months, and that's because they're saying that the effectiveness is wearing off. So as the science changes, I hope the Army will follow the science on that. But in the meantime, it seems to us to be a colossal waste of investment to just release all those soldiers for something like that. But I'm out of time. I yield back. Thank you.